Hi, my name is Sarah Brand, and I'm presenting today on my design project, which focuses on the systematic phonics instruction in the early elementary classroom. The three articles I chose to review all focused on systematic phonics instruction. The first one, by Saskia de Graaf et al., was entitled Benefits of Systematic Phonics Instruction. The second article, by Airy et al., was entitled Systematic Phonics Instruction Helps Students Learn to Read, Evidence from the National Reading Panel's Meta-Analysis. And the last article, also by Airy, was entitled The Science of Learning to Read Words, A Case for Systematic Phonics Instruction. I'll describe each of these articles as we continue. My instructional design is intended for the teachers of kindergarten and first grade students, though it would really be useful for any teacher working with students who need remediation in foundational phonics skills. My design focuses exclusively on the most foundational reading skill a student needs after learning letter sounds, which is the reading of consonant-vowel-consonant words, or CVC words. At the end of instruction, all my students were able to successfully read at least 90% of the target words, and the one student who did only read 90% of the target words is a student I'm going to discuss in a few moments. So the first article was Benefits of Systematic Phonics Instruction. This study compares systematic phonics instruction with non-systematic phonics instruction, and it evaluated both their effects on student progression in letter sound knowledge, phonemic awareness, spelling, and reading. The whole reason I chose this topic for my design project is that my first grade students largely spent their kindergarten year online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Had they been in a traditional school atmosphere, they likely would have received systematic phonics instruction already. But because many were not, there exists a learning gap. Because of this, it was important to compare the success of students who received systematic phonics instruction versus non-systematic phonics instruction, which the author does in this study. My findings echo the findings of de Graaf et al. Because I also saw tremendous growth in students once systematic phonics instruction was applied. The article also noted that the students in the study showed growth in spelling, reading comprehension, and phonemic awareness, which I noticed in my students as well. The next article, Systematic Phonics Instruction Helps Students Learn to Read, Evidence from the National Reading Panel's Meta-Analysis. This article evaluates systematic phonics instruction and its effects when applied in a variety of learning contexts, small group, whole group, one-on-one, as well as before and after first grade, to a variety of learners, including students with reading disabilities and cognitive delays. The most significant part of this study to my design is that they noted that students had a higher success rate the earlier systematic phonics instruction was applied. As I noted earlier, students would traditionally receive this instruction in kindergarten. Because of the pandemic, many students did not, and those are the students I targeted with my instructional design. Those who did were already succeeding in all age-appropriate areas of reading. So I agree with Airy et al.'s findings that the earlier students can receive this instruction, the more success they'll have. The authors also found in their study that low-achieving students with cognitive limitation did not benefit as much, if at all, from systematic phonics instruction. I find this interesting because while most of my students were able to read all or nearly all of the regularly spelled CVC words on which they were assessed, one was only able to read about 90% after instruction. This student is also currently undergoing evaluations for cognitive impairments. The last article is The Science of Learning to Read Words, A Case for Systematic Phonics Instruction. This article really highlights the basis for why I chose to target this skill in my instructional design. Basically, the article highlights the benefits of systemic phonics instruction on student reading success over other systems that focus on memorization. The author really breaks down why we teach phonics first and why this is necessary for reading. Some reading systems teach reading by sight or by memorization, but phoneme isolation is how students construct meaning from words, and phoneme isolation is the skill that was being targeted in my instructional design. The author reiterates the effects of systematic phonics instruction on future reading skills and why systematic phonics instruction is so imperative to student success.